All right, so good morning. And so today we're going to be ending a little early, so it'll be like a 45-minute class. And we will have a belt and a couple of blocks. And so let's get started. Oh, and then I remember the button I forgot to push. Oh, well. There we go. Okay, now let's get started. Coming down to the floor, having your block nearby. Not block, I mean belt, having your belt nearby. Okay. And just take a few breaths, resting into the floor. Inhale and exhale. Letting go of the rest of the day, slowing the breath down. All right, and then getting a little more organized, flexing the feet, reaching through the heels. And we'll bend the right leg, reaching long and flat down through the left leg. And then we'll push the right knee into the left hand and pull that right knee across to the left, just for a couple breaths. And then coming back to the center, and we'll put the belt around the right foot and extend that right leg up to the ceiling, reaching long and flat through the left leg. Sending the breath, pouring out the backs of the legs, long line from the top of the head to the left foot. And then belt into the left hand. I'm going to take the right leg across to the left into Padangusthasana number 3. Reaching out from the shoulder with the right arm. And as you're pressing that right foot across to the left, pull the abdominal muscles back into the spine like you're gently trying to pull yourself back to the right, trying to pull your lower back to the floor. Don't impede the twisting at all, just engage the muscles. And then come back up to the center, and we'll bring the right leg down. Standing on two legs for a moment. And then we'll bend the left leg, pulling the left thigh into the chest, really reaching long and flat down the right leg, long through the top of the head. And then left knee into the right hand, taking that left knee across to the right. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back to the center, reaching long through that right foot. As we put the belt around the left foot and extending the left leg up. And then reaching long from the top of the head out the right heel, engaging in the shape with your whole body. And then belt into the right hand as we take that right leg, left leg across to the right. Body Sukha, Body Gustasana number 3. And as we press out through the left leg across to the right, we'll pulling of the abdominal muscles back into the spine. Like I said, not pulling out of the twisting action, but just supporting it, giving a little anchor and pull and counterbalance to it. And then bringing that left leg back up to the ceiling. And down, setting the belt aside. Let's interlock the fingers, palms to the ceiling, stretching the arms up overhead, long and flat along the floor. And then we'll release the hands and making your way up to sitting. And we will sit in this Vipassana, the crossed legs. Using the arms alongside, lengthening up. Getting space between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. A little shifting and squinging. And letting the hands rest on the knees. Inhale and exhale. Being here in your body with your breath in this moment. And then we'll reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale, breathing those arms up. And breathing them down. Let's do that twice more. And then changing the cross of the legs. Coming forward and over. Breathing across the back of the body, really feeling the pull out from the inner thighs, out the knees. And then coming up, unfurling vertebrae by vertebrae back up on top of the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. And then we will come up and downward facing dog. So I think I already said this, but if you have the blocks, putting them up near the front of the mat there in case you want them. And then downward facing dog. And walking the dog or anything else you want to do here. And then finishing with that dog walking. Here we are in the best downward facing dog of this moment. And then going through the vinyasa, any version, lengthening forward to the plank, maybe kneeling plank, chaturanga or not, upward facing dog, cobra, something like that. And then we'll all be back in downward facing dog. And let's lift our right leg up, reaching long through the heel, reaching down through the left heel. And through to the lunge. And let's take a twist to the right. And a big reach around, bringing the left knee down in Jayasana, the kneeling lunge. And we'll circle the arms around, carrying them around with a circle of breath. Namaste in front. And turning to the elephant rider. Feet on the diagonal, pressing the knees out, big inner thigh stretch. And then turning to the left lunge at the back of the mat. So we're going to do the same thing we just did on the right. Not to worry if you can't see your screen. We're going to twist now to the left. And a big reach around with the left arm, bringing the right knee down in Jayasana, the kneeling lunge. Circling up the arms around with that circle of breath and all the way back up overhead. Namaste in front. And then this time, we're going to the wide leg forward bend with straight legs. Prasarita Padottanasana. And then turning to the right lunge toward the front of the mat again. We'll come up in the supported warrior three. So maybe fingertips to the floor. If you have a block there, probably using the highest height of the block or blocks. And coming up. Stretching long and flat against the ceiling from the top of the head out the left foot. While that right leg now reaches into the floor, whereas before it had been reaching up into the belt. And then we'll bring that left leg down next to the right and into Utkatasana, the chair pose. Pulling the hips back, lifting up with the upper back. And springing up, big circle around, front body yawn, all the way back up overhead with the arms. And then drawing the hands down the center line, Namaste in front. Inhale and exhale. And come forward. Big lift up. And diving over. And then coming up on tippy fingers, or maybe your block, and we're going to take a twist to the right here with the straight legs. Twisting right. So maybe your left hand is on the floor or a block. You can also put your left hand onto your right shin. Reaching long through the top of the head. And then bringing that right arm down. Concave back. folding over, jumping or stepping back through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. And then we'll go around on the left, and you can do the kneeling lunge again, or you could use the high lunge if you would rather. So let's lift our left leg up. And through to the lunge. And then twisting to the left. You can bring that right knee down again, or maybe reaching around and coming up in the high lunge. Breathing the arms around, big circle of breath. And Namaste in front. And then turning to the elephant rider. Big stretch out of the inner thighs. Turning to the right lunge at the back of the mat. And twisting to the right. And then reaching around and either coming up in the high lunge or bringing the left knee down for Anjayasana. And circling the arms all the way around and back up overhead. And Namaste into the floor. And then to the wide leg forward bend with the straight legs. And then we'll turn to our left lunge to the front of the mat again. Coming up in a supported warrior three. With or without the blocks, maybe on tippy fingers. And doing your best to feel that long line from the top of the head out the right leg, so it's not the same as a standing split. We're trying to press flat up against the ceiling, reaching down through the left leg into the floor. And then bringing the right leg down next to the left into Utkatasana, the chair pose. Really working the upper back and middle back muscles as we bring the upper body up and the arms up. And springing up. Big front body yawn. And then let's circle the arms all the way around and back up overhead. And Namaste in front. And coming over. Big lift up. And diving in. And then lengthening out either on the fingers there, or using the block again as we twist to the left. Another option is getting hold of the left shin with your right arm. And then doing your best to lengthen through the top of the head. And reaching down. And then through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. Breathing here. All right, let's lift our right leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire height. And through to the lunge. And let's come back up in that supported warrior 3 with the block or not. And then, as you might have guessed, we're going to hover the Ardha Chandrasana. We're going to twist to the right here. So if you're using the block, move the block over under the left hand, not right in front of your right leg. And then twisting to the right. See if you can connect this to our shape on the floor. Long through the top of the head to the left heel. That was what was lying on the floor. We were pulling the right leg across to the left, reaching out through the right arm to the right, pulling the abdominal muscles up into the spine. And then with great relief, we will jiva squat, pulling the left leg behind the right, bending the knees, squeezing in. And then coming all the way down to the floor, into Matsyendrasana. And we're going to twist to the left to the open side. Inhale, lots of space, exhale, and twist. And coming back to the center. Disentangling our legs, coming back up onto our feet, into the forward bend. Deep breath. Little concave back. Folding over, stepping back with the left leg. And let's come into the warrior number 2. Rolling wide, nice big contrast to what we were doing. And then dancing warrior, bringing that right arm up and away, keep pulling forward through the right inner thigh. And then into the triangle trikonasana, really feeling twisting to the leftness. Nice and lifted and open. Or maybe feeling not twistedness compared to the Ardha Chandrasana. And a big reach around, coming to the lunge, stepping back to the plank, through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. And 3 deep breaths there, or maybe coming down to child's pose if you want. And then around we'll go on the left. Lifting the left leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. And through to the lunge. And let's come right up into that supported warrior 3. And if you've got the block there, putting the block over underneath the right hand, not directly in front of the left leg. Sort of like we do in Ardha Chandrasana, we're off center there, not squeezed right in. And then twisting to the left. Ardha Chandrasana, the rotated half move. Even though it kind of feels like rotated warrior 3 as well. And see if you can connect this to line on the floor. The right side from the top of the head to the right foot was on the floor. Left leg was pulled across. Left arm was reaching out to the side. And then pull those abdominal muscles up into the spine. And a big inhale and exhale, Jiva squat, pulling the right leg behind the left, squeezing into a little ball for a few breaths, or you could have both feet on the floor. And a big step back to come up in the warrior 2 on the left. Checking the alignment there. And here we are, somewhere almost completely different. Dancing warrior, bringing that left arm up and away. And into the triangle Trikonasana. Maybe it's a twist to the right. Maybe it's just a knot twist, a big open. And a big reach around, coming to the lunge. Stepping back to the plank. Through the vinyasa or vinyasana as many times as you want. And then there will all be downward facing dog. And the best downward facing dog of this moment. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. And then coming up, and we'll come down to the floor. And so we will bridge pose. You can do any sort of other thing you might want. So we'll do the combination bridge pose, where we both do it on the block and lifting up. But you can do something a little different if you would like. All right, we come down onto the floor. Deep breath, clearing things out. And lifting up the sacrum, block under the sacrum, sliding the legs out to squeeze. Inhaling up into the lower belly. Exhale, pouring out through the feet, pulling up through the torso, stretching over the body. And then bending the knees, getting the feet underneath the knees, and we'll lift up into the bridge pose. Nice big round breaths. Coming back down onto the block and sliding the legs out again. And then bending knees, and we will lift up off the block. Rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, landing on the. And let's figure four. Being as shavasana-like as you can in the figure four. Inhale and exhale. Letting go. Softening the face and the jaw, softening the eyes, maybe letting them close. And then switching legs. And setting your legs down. So we're going to have a 1 minute Shavasana, but you, of course, can stay longer there at home. Inhale and exhale. Just letting yourself sink into the earth. Feeling every moment of every breath expanding time. And continuing your Shavasana or practice if you would like. But if you too need to move on into your day, making your way gently up to sitting and taking another moment, sitting quietly inside yourself. Namaste. Thank you for coming.